Sausage.
Hello everyone, this is the Chat the Backlog, the podcast where I, Mark Kuznets, tries to make a dent in their backlog one game at a time. This episode is all about Animal Crossing New Horizons, the latest game in the Animal Crossing series, introducing new features like the ability to wear back items, breakable tools, indestructible flowers that will only leave your island if you sell them, half-tile furniture movement indoors and outdoors, a brand new currency to worry about, and the ability to create your own fish bait from clams. Great for all you pescatarians who won't eat your green eggs with ham. Also, did I mention you can wear pack items? Oh my god, it's incredible. Animal Crossing, we need to talk. It's not you, it's me. I've changed. I'm not the person I was when we first met 20 years ago. I've grown up. The kid who loved fishing, digging up fossils, picking apples, catching bugs, and chatting with the locals is no more. Like Batman in the upcoming Suicide Squad game, that kid is dead. Traveling to an island where I'm immediately met with crushing debt is no longer my idea of a good time. That Batman is dead joke is maybe not the best with what happened to Kevin Conroy, RIP. He was great. One of the best Batman. Sorry, it's just don't think I wrote this before that happened. Okay. It's no longer my idea of a good time. The debt part, back on track. I need more. I want more, except like with any breakup, when I say it's not you, it's me, what I really mean is it's 100% you and maybe a little bit me, but definitely maybe. Great movie, it's you. While it's true I changed, how could I not after 20 years? The real problem is that you haven't changed. It's been 20 years. How can so much time pass and yet it feels like no time passed at all? What have you been doing all this time? Sure, there are things in New Horizons that weren't in previous games. The DS game is the last one I played in a serious way while only playing a smidgen of the 3DS one, but much of what you're doing is the same old of fishing, digging up fossils, picking fruit, catching bugs, and playing the turn-up market if you're feeling especially dangerous. I used to love doing this, and part of me still does, but I need more. I want more. Not only that, given my age and where I am in life, the one thing Animal Crossing has going for it, its unique use of a real-world clock, is no longer something I enjoy, or at least not in the way it works in Animal Crossing anymore. Because the game takes place in real time, things are doled out so slowly that much of the early game is empty of anything to do short of the same old, only now with breakable tools you have to regularly craft or buy in order to keep doing the same old. I don't want to be that person who complains about breakable items, but I'm going to be that person who complains about breakable items. Why? Why? Is it because Breath of the Wild was so popular and even though the breakable weapons were one of the few things people complained about, you thought adding such a mechanic to Animal Crossing was a good idea? It wasn't. You've changed so little, and yet one of the first changes I experienced annoyed the hell out of me. I don't want to craft tools. I don't want to be collecting wood or other resources only to have my tool break after 5 minutes because it's so flimsy. Yes, you do learn better crafting recipes relatively quickly, but those better versions still break eventually, and regardless, it doesn't add anything to the game other than an added mechanic that exists only to be more, not better. It's a perfect example of quantity over quality. The joy of Animal Crossing back in the day was due in large part to its simplicity, something that's still mostly there today, but then the ways in which they decide to expand on the experience aren't always for the better. Instead of making the way I do things more tedious, why not give me more things to do instead? But this is all based on playing the game for just under 2 weeks with zero time traveling, something I'm adamantly against doing. Maybe things eventually get to a place where there's quantity and quality, but I have too much in my backlog and too little time these days to see if that happens. I was originally going to keep playing just a smidgen every day to dig up my daily fossils and collect my daily miles, a currency awarded for in-game achievements and micro tasks you can use for buying items and a few character upgrades, but I ripped off that band-aid at the end of week 2 when the clock showed a quarter to midnight and I still hadn't done my daily deeds. I reached for my Switch switch, but stopped myself mid-grab. It was in that moment that my relationship with Animal Crossing truly came to an end. While it is true New Horizons is just more Animal Crossing, it's also true that I'm not the same person anymore either. The kid with only a handful of games in their collection is now an arguable adult with more games than any one person should ever have, and because of this, I no longer have the time compounded with the limited library to make New Horizons worthy of said time, especially when so much of it feels more like old Horizons than new ones. Anyway, that will do it for this here episode of Attack the Backlog, but before I wrap this episode up, I want to go off script to just say New Horizons is not a bad game. It's a good game. It's a great Animal Crossing game. If it's your first Animal Crossing game, you're gonna have an amazing time, but it is an Animal Crossing game. I just apparently don't like Animal Crossing anymore, and no one is sadder about that than I. So that is all I wanted to say. It's not a bad game. It's just not a game for me anymore. And who am I? I'm Mark Krishnez. I said that at the top of the show, and this is where I say it again because I'm ending it. You can find me pretty much everywhere at PX Sausage. If you'd like to find all my links of import, you can do so over at pixelatedsausage.com/PX. That'll get you everywhere you want to go and anywhere you don't want to go. But if you like going there, here, and anywhere and enjoy the content I make and what have you can go over to patreon.com/PXS to support me and my nonsense that away. As always, thank you for watching or listening. I hope you enjoyed this here episode, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. So for now, adios, arrivederci, bye.